President Donald Trump is set to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska, for one of the most high-stakes talks of his presidency. Scheduled for Friday, the summit comes with an offer that has stunned Washington, unsettled U.S. allies, and triggered outrage from critics. According to multiple sources, Trump is preparing to propose a package of economic incentives, worth potentially billions, to persuade Putin to end the war in Ukraine. At the heart of this package is access to rare earth minerals. These materials, essential for high-tech manufacturing, renewable energy, and military applications, have become a strategic prize in the 21st century. Ukraine is believed to hold around 10% of the world's lithium reserves, much of it in territories now under Russian occupation. Two of the largest deposits are located in regions seized by Moscow since the 2022 invasion. Under Trump's plan, Putin could gain a stake in exploiting these resources, either directly through joint ventures or via international partnerships facilitated by the United States. The idea is controversial, not least because it risks legitimizing Russian control over occupied Ukrainian territory. The proposal doesn't stop there. Alaska's own vast natural wealth is reportedly on the table. Separated from Russia by just 3 miles across the Bering Strait, Alaska contains significant untapped reserves of oil, gas, and rare earth minerals. Trump is said to be willing to explore resource-sharing arrangements in the Arctic, an area of both economic potential and strategic importance for Russia. The Arctic already produces 80% of Russia's natural gas, and expanded access could further cement Moscow's foothold in the region. Another element of the package involves easing U.S. sanctions on Russia's aviation sector. Since 2022, Western restrictions have blocked Russian airlines and military fleets from obtaining spare parts and maintenance support for their largely Airbus and Boeing aircraft. Industry estimates suggest that nearly a third of Russia's Western-made planes could be grounded within 5 years without access to replacement parts. By partially lifting these restrictions, Trump's plan could allow American aerospace companies, especially Boeing, to re-enter a lucrative market while giving Russia's airlines a lifeline. The strategic logic behind these incentives is straightforward. Offer Putin tangible economic benefits in exchange for an immediate ceasefire, then follow up with broader peace negotiations involving Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump has already floated the idea of a second trilateral meeting to take place shortly after the Anchorage talks if Friday's discussions go well. But this approach is dividing opinion. Supporters argue that financial leverage is one of the few tools left that could bring Putin to the negotiating table without further bloodshed. Critics counter that rewarding aggression sets a dangerous precedent, potentially encouraging future land grabs. European allies, including the UK, France, and Germany, are treading carefully, signaling conditional support if the deal avoids the appearance of legitimizing Russia's territorial claims. Diplomatic groundwork has been intense. In recent days, Trump has held virtual calls with Zelensky and European leaders. These discussions have focused on security guarantees for Ukraine, something Washington has so far been reluctant to commit to, but which Kyiv insists is essential to any lasting peace. The U.S. Treasury has even authorized a temporary suspension of certain sanctions to facilitate preparations for the summit, valid until August 20th. This unusual step underscores how seriously the administration is taking the possibility of a breakthrough, even if officials caution that the Alaska meeting is primarily a listening exercise. For Putin, the offer is tempting but complex. While rare earth access and aviation relief could provide short-term economic boosts, Russia's long-term war aims remain unchanged, chief among them replacing Zelensky's government with a Moscow-friendly administration. Whether financial incentives can override these ambitions is the central question heading into Friday's talks. As Trump himself put it earlier this week, he'll know probably in the first 2 minutes whether Putin is serious about peace. The world will be watching those 2 minutes closely, because what happens in Anchorage could determine not only the future of Ukraine, but the shape of global power politics for years to come.